Welcome back, everyone. We're back again doing another homebrew race. This time we're doing the Trollkin. This was requested by one of our viewers. After forgetting his name, I wrote it. I just tried to check it out a second ago. Something zero. I'll put a little picture here to show what he asked for. He requested to make a troll PC. I was going to do an actual troll, but looking at their stats that they have in the monsters guide, they seemed a bit too powerful, so I kind of trimmed it down to make it more of like a half race. In this case, I call it a Trollkin, just to it's kind of like half troll, but essentially it's essentially a half troll. I also found just before I made my class, I just wanted to see what was out there and see what was available, if there's any if anyone made anything that was like this, and just see if I get any tips and tricks off it. I found a couple there. Some of them were good, some were not so good, and I kind of just took, because pretty much everything that they had put out was pretty much what I was going to put in. So I'll put the links to the ones I found and how I combined them together, and I took bits and bobs from each of them, and this is the reason why I don't put my stuff up on DM Skill, because it's a little bit plagiarized to an extent, but like the stuff I was going to put into it is essentially this, so it would be a bit of an overlap. But yeah, you can check out the ones I sourced from below. They'll be in the links below, and you guys can download this one from my Google Drive. I'll just put a link to that as well in the description below. But yeah, sure, let's just get into the description and the physiology and the stat bonuses. So Trollkin. Trollkin are the result of genetic mingling between other races of humanoids, usually humans, and the race of mutant giants called trolls. They're like their troll parents. They have tremendous appetites and powerful metabolic abilities. However, despite still having a passionate and mercurial temperament, the average Trollkin is markedly less chaotic and wild than a full-blooded troll. It's very similar to how like a half-orc is not as vicious and chaotic as a normal orc. So that's where this kind of element of the species mingling comes into play, because that makes them less chaotic, essentially, and more of a natural PC that can mingle into modern society. Even though I know there's some literature in the D&D world that is suggests that some trolls are a little more sociable and whatnot, but I'd say the majority are more monstrous and want to eat people. But appearance and physiology. Trollkin bear visible signs of their troll heritage. They tower over most other medium humanoids, but unlike other medium humanoids, their proportions are distinctly non-humanoid. They got like long arms, lanky arms, kind of short legs, almost gorilla-esque. A Trollkin's armed legs are very long compared to the rest of their body, and they walk with a troll's hunched gait, so kind of almost like walking on their knuckles. Almost kind of like a green gorilla of sorts. They tend to grow thick, sharp fingernails like their troll parents, though still noticeably blunter and shorter than a troll's, and tough growths on their shoulders and backs. So just the kind of like normal stuff you see on trolls, growths, weird proportionate stuff that just kind of makes them more troll-esque. Troll can have a variety of skin colors, mostly greens, blues, and grays in a variety of shades. Most have either green or yellow eyes or eyes like their other parent species, but most of the time it's probably that greeny, yellowy hue, although you can decide however you want it to be. Additionally, most Trollkin have larger noses, smaller eyes, and sharper teeth than most humanoids without troll heritage. Trollkin tend to have thick hair that grows out very quickly, so you might want to be consistent. If you want to keep your guy nice and trimmed and everything, you might want to consistently be at the barbershop or wherever they have in essentially like middle or fantasy setting. I suppose they're going to have a barbershop. I was trying to think what they have in like Dark Ages, but I assume they would have some sort of barbers. Like hair that grows out very quickly. This kind of hair would normally be like dreadlocks and braids, or the very common hairstyles, although facial hair and body hair is uncommon, which is a kind of a mitigating factor of Trollkin. I know in the picture I just see here, your man has a bit of a goatee. I think this is a picture of an orc, but he kind of fit the bill that I was looking for of a Trollkin. The ones I was finding online were pretty poor in comparison. Then we have the stats. Trollkin. Your Trollkin character has certain characteristics in common with other Trollkin. Ability score, your strength and score increases by 1, and your constitution score increases by 2. Age. Trollkin age more quickly than humans, reaching physical maturity around 12 years old, though their powerful metabolism grants them good health and staves off the physical decline of old age. It also reduces their overall lifespan, and they usually don't live as long as their human counterparts do at 60 years old. Size. Trollkin are smaller than full-blooded trolls. Full-blooded are about maybe 10 to 12 feet tall. These guys are a little bit smaller, on the 6 to 8 feet range. But they are noticeably larger than most other humanoids, standing from 6 to 8 feet tall, but you could add on extra feet if they properly stand up proper and not as kind of hunched over as they normally would be. Your size is medium. Speed, you have a base walking speed of 30 feet. You also have dark vision. You can see in dim light within 60 feet of you as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. You can't discern colors in darkness, only shades of gray, as typical for other races that can see have dark vision. Iron Gut, you have advantage on Constitution saving throws against diseases, ingested substances such as raw meat or poison, and effects that rely on breathing or an inhalation such as poison gas or the Stinking Cloud spell, and stuff like that. Keen Senses, you have advantage on Wisdom perception checks that rely on smell. Regeneration, at the start of your turn you can spend one hit dice, roll the die, and add your Constitution modifier. You recover that many hit points after you use this trait. You can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. There was a lot of stuff online that I was like finding like for like a base troll, and it just seemed way too powerful for a normal PC. Like if you're gonna throw, I was thinking maybe having like 1d4 if they were below a certain amount of health, but even then it's still very powerful. But like if it's only once per day and it could be up to however much your hit die is, it'd be interesting if it was like a troll wizard and something like that. That'd be funny because they only have like a T6, but it'd be interesting all the same. You can't use this again until you finish a short or long rest, so you can get it back pretty quickly. And then again, you can also use those hit dice. Pigskin, instead of adding your dexterity modifier, Troll can add their Constitution modifier when determining their armor class, just because their bodies are so hardy and like with all those growths and stuff, they almost becomes like a natural armor for them, that their dexterous abilities would kind of hold them back in that regard. Voracious, you're almost always hungry. You must eat as much food and drink as a large-sized creature, twice as much each day to stave off starvation. So it's one thing to keep in mind. So there is some drawbacks from going with this race. So you're probably going to be eating like a horse, or even eating a horse in some situations. And your languages, you can speak, read, and write Common and Giant. Too bad there isn't an actual troll language. That would have been interesting. But yeah, this is the Trollkin class I came up with. I found some bits and bobs online, kind of combined them together, and I'll put the links to the description below if you guys want to check them out, or even make your own edits to them. And you can also download this from my Google Drive. That link will be also in the description. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.